Walt Disney World, Orlando, Florida, famous for its long queues and big crowds. But is this really the case? Come with me as we find out the difference between the advertised queue times and the actual wait time. So at the time of filming, it is October 2024. So October isn't the busiest time. The busiest time, especially with British tourists, is around August. So this is just after the peak time for those tourists. But we're going to try Tron. So Tron has an advertised wait time of 50 minutes. We start outside in the queuing area. We see the roller coaster going above our heads before we go inside into the air-conditioned waiting area. So we're outside for about 14 minutes, just under, and then we're inside in the air-conditioned part of the queue. So this is the first part of the inside area before we go into the room that opens up into the next part of the queuing area. The secret here is to be to the right side of the room, because that's where the door will open up, and then you will be at the front of this group of people to get into the next queuing area. So you see the track through the glass, and there's the door to our right, and we continue around when we can see the roller coaster just before it shoots outside. So there's our first glimpse of the roller coaster as it shoots off, and we've still got quite a bit of the queue ahead of us, so we go around here into the next indoor queuing room. So there's a lot to see in the queue, keep you going for a little bit, but it is a long queue. So if it is 50 minutes, it's probably not too bad, but if it's much longer, then you're going to be spending a lot of time outside before you get into this inside area. So we work our way through this room. We go for a next bit where we put your bags in your lockers and any loose items, before you go into this last section where you can queue right down into the loading area. So as you get down, you can see either side where people are getting into the roller coasters, and you work your way down. And then we get to the front of the queue just before we get on the roller coaster, and we check our time, and we're at just under 35 minutes. So I think that's a really good time. Advertised at 50 minutes, and the actual wait time just under 35 minutes. So next, seeing the same land in Tomorrowland, we're going to try the Space Ranger spin. So this is an advertised wait time of 25 minutes. So again, we start in the outside queuing area, and depending on how long the queue is, how long the wait time is, you could be outside for quite a while. But today it wasn't too long in the outside area before we made our way inside into the air-conditioned queue area. So again, we've got lots to see as it's a Toy Story themed queue. And themed around Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger. So we're just over 6 minutes before we get to the inside queuing area, and then into the air conditioning. Now we can see quite a lot of the queue in the inside area is not in use, so could be a good sign. So we work our way round, and then we get into the second of two inside queuing sections, and then all of a sudden we're right at the front of the queue and about to board the ride. Now that was an incredibly quick queue. So the advertised wait time at 25 minutes, we've managed to get to the front in just under 11 minutes. So definitely worth the wait. Okay, next up, also in Tomorrowland, let's try Space Mountain. So we're doing well so far. This is advertised at 30 minutes. So let's give it a go. Now Space Mountain, the whole queue is inside. We've got quite a large inside queuing area. Obviously, in the middle of summer and the middle of tourist season, it may extend outside, but there is quite a large queuing area and you could easily queue inside for well over an hour. So yes, it can be a long queue, but at least the majority of it is inside in the air conditioning. But today we walk in and it seems like we're just going to walk straight through. There's no crowds here, we're just going straight through. And this is set up to make you feel like you're on a space station. So we're wandering through the space station, and out the windows we can see space and the stars. So you can see it has that curved effect to give you that feeling you're in a circular space station. And as you look ahead in the distance, you can see that effect. So we keep wandering down, and we are now at the end of the long queuing corridor, and we enter this big queuing room. There are queues to the left and another queuing section to the right, where we have the two boarding areas. So we get here and we can see the loading area. However, we've still got to queue around this room, so we've still got a bit of queuing to go. Now, in Space Mountain, when you're queuing, there is actually a game that you can play on the Disney app, and you can look at the codes that are printed on the wall and put those into your game and use those. So there are things to keep you going, keep you entertained. But as we've seen with this queue, it was only 17 minutes, and as it's advertised at 30 minutes, that's pretty good going. Now next, while we're in Tomorrowland, let's go on Speedway. Advertised at 10 minutes, so why not? Let's walk straight through. Now the entire queuing area is outside, so it can be very hot. However, today, 10 minutes, it's not too bad, so let's give it a go. So we can see the cars as we are in the queuing area going over the track. And here's a good view of where the loading area is and where we'll be going down. Now it splits into two, so when you get to that top, you'll either go down the left side or the right side and then directed down to your car. So as we get to the bottom of the ramp, we reach the front of the queue and we are directed to the car that we're going to be taking. So advertised at 10 minutes, we're not far off actually. Today we get to the front and we're boarding the car at just under 10 minutes. So our car comes along with the people that were last using it. They come out the same way we get in, and there we go. We're in 10 minutes, just as advertised. Okay, now we leave Tomorrowland and we're going to go on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Now it's advertised at 15 minutes. This can easily go up to an hour and a half, 2 hours. 15 minutes, I think it's well worth a try, isn't it? So this has got a very large queuing area. It's all undercover, but it is outside, so it can get very, very warm. But there's a lot of theming here, a lot to see as we're queuing round. But today we appear to just be walking through. So here we go, admiring the view as we go. We continue round, and there's a lot of theming, a lot to keep us entertained as we go. And as we near our way to the front, we see the ramp down to the boarding area. So we know now we're not far off from boarding. So we go down the ramp, and this is where it splits into two, and you'll be directed to a train either on the left or the right side. So we make our way down, and we arrive at the boarding area, where our actual wait time was 13 minutes today, against the advertised wait time of 15 minutes. So we're doing really well today. We've been under the advertised wait times for most of the rides we've been on. So let's look at our next ride. And as you may have guessed, it is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Now the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train always has a long queue. Today it is advertised at 55 minutes, which, believe it or not, that is a very good time for this ride. So let's go have a look. So we join the queue, which starts outside. The majority of this queue area is outside. It does go inside, but there are no doors. It's got fans, so it's not really as cool as some of the other rides, but it's not too bad. But this ride is very well themed as you're queuing round, so lots to see. So we work our way around the queue. It seems to move quite quickly as we go around, but it definitely feels like it's one of the longer queues we've had today. But still, nowhere near what it's usually advertised at other times of the year. So we continue to make our way around, and we can see, yeah, lots of people, a lot busier than some of the other rides. But still, lots to see, and the queue is moving at a gradual pace as we then move into the inside waiting area. So we continue through. It's nice and cool in here. Lots to see. A few bits and pieces to play with as we continue through the queue and make our way to the front. So as we near the front of the queue, we can see the loading area, and I'm going to check the time. We had an advertised wait time of 55 minutes, and now the moment of truth, our actual wait time was 28 minutes. So that is a really good time for this ride. Now, we're going to make our way round to Pirates of the Caribbean, a classic ride that everyone must go on. So here we have an advertised wait time of 20 minutes. So Pirates of the Caribbean, the queuing area is inside, the majority of it. I think it will queue outside during the really busy times, but once you go inside, a lot of the queuing area that I know of is all inside, and again, very well themed, lots to see as we go through. So this queue is moving at a good pace. We seem to keep going, and we work our way down to the final loading area, and we can see the boats coming, and there we go, right at the front. We seem to have made good time. So 20 minutes was the advertised time, and we're here in just 5 minutes. So not really a queue, it was just a walk straight through the queuing area to the front. So now let's try the Jungle Cruise, just next door to Pirates of the Caribbean. with an advertised wait time of 35 minutes. Again, in the busy times this can easily go to an hour and a half, sometimes up to 2 hours. And we can see that the queuing area is very large. There's a lot of queuing area, but hardly of any of its use today, which is a very good sign. Continue to make our way through the queue. Lots of people excited for this ride. Very popular ride in the Magic Kingdom. But this queue is just speeding along, and before we know it, we're near the front of the queue and near the loading area. So we make our way to the front of the loading area, and then we board the boat where we meet our skipper for the day. So we get on the boat and we get ourselves seated in what feels like no time at all. So, how long did we wait? Advertised at 35 minutes. We were ready, sat on the boat, ready to go in just under 19 minutes. So another good time, another quick queue. So why not try the Haunted Mansion next? With an advertised wait time of 25 minutes. At the Haunted Mansion, there are 999 happy haunts here, but there's room for 1,000. Any volunteers? The first part of the queuing area starts outside, so we work our way through the graveyard, seeing all the bits and pieces out here. We see the ghost horse, and we go past all the gravestones through the queue as we make our way to where the inside queuing area will start. So it's shaded for part of it, and there are some places where you've got some photo opportunities. You see the heads, see the gravestones. As we work our way towards the front, where we get into the stretching room. Continue to make our way round, and at the front here it stops being a single line queue and you just find any dead space, and you fill any dead space you can in the stretching room. Once in the stretching room, you get an introduction from our ghost host. Why is it called the stretching room? Well, I'll leave that up to you to guess. But after our introduction, we leave the stretching room and then we enter into a secondary queue to get to the loading area. So we're now reaching the front of the queue after the waiting area outside, through the stretching room and through the inside queue, nearing the front of the loading area. So the advertised wait time was 25 minutes and we have made it in just 16 minutes. So once again, that is under the advertised wait time and well worth the queue. So right next to the Haunted Mansion, got Fantasyland, and when we're in Fantasyland, we've got to go on It's a Small World. Now normally at Disney, if you see an advertised wait time of 5 minutes, it usually means there's no queue at all. It usually means you walk straight to the front of the ride. So let's give this a go and see if this is the case. So here we go. It's not really a queue, it's just people moving towards the front of the queue here. But here we go, we're walking through and we're already going down the slope to the boarding area. So here we go, all the way down, and basically no queue. That was 2 minutes from the entrance to boarding the boat. So well worth going on any ride that you see advertised for 5 minutes. So, Walt Disney World, are the queues really that bad? Well, yes and no. It depends when you go. During the busy seasons, yes, you can be waiting a long time. So, choose carefully when you go, and you could do the whole park in a day.